I was acting surprised. I wasn't actually surprised, but oh my gosh, hi!
Hi! That was so impressive.
Hi, friends. That was acting. You're welcome.
I love acting.
It's my favorite thing.
Is it like pretending?
It's like pretending, but you often are told what to pretend, so it takes all of like the work out of it.
You're told what to pretend?
Yeah.
It's like being with my 4-year-old?
Yes! Yes. Mommy, you're the cashier at the gas station. I had a very different childhood than a lot of people. We played gas station a lot. That was like my dream. I digress. Hi, Zelenias.
Did we start the thing already?
Is it going? Oh, this is happening now. Okay.
I didn't even know this was happening today.
I know.
Okay. I'm Miscellaneous. I'm an associate artist with Novelties Theater, and I am here with Brendan Mack, also known as the terrible drag queen Butch Alice.
I'm here. I got booked. I've retired from drag 4 times.
This worked out really well for you.
Yeah, I have commitment issues with stopping doing things that I love, which is complicated and neat, but I'm really happy to be able to perform this act that you're about to see today.
And I'm very excited to see it as well.
Yeah.
Can you, for those in the audience who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. So I do all the things. I have a real hard time having kind of like free time. I really try to dedicate myself to doing graphic design and directing a show and writing a script and making a puppet and playing a lot of Magic the Gathering. Like an unhealthy no. And like giving like a scan of the room, I'm like, who? Hi. But I do a lot of different things, and I think it's because if you just do one thing, it gets kind of hard to like find that passion over and over again. So it's been really awesome to be able to like, hey, what's it like to landscape for a little while? Hey, what's it like to, I don't know, like attempt to put together furniture or whatever. Like I jump around to do a lot of different things so that I always find that kind of like renewed joy of doing the things that I love to do, which is like everything. Everything is either a hell yes or a hell no, period.
And as you say, knowledge is power, and you're trying to get to 100?
I'm trying to get to level 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How powerful are you now?
I'm very powerful. I'm very powerful, and also really tired. Like, really tired. Kind of filling your day with all of the things, because everything that I do is research-based, right? I think that's one of the things that, like, a lot of artists don't share, that's, like, the secret, is, like, you have to know about so many things to be able to infuse into your work, especially like in the burlesque and the drag communities. Like, that's when you're not given the script. That's when you're not told, hey, let's play gas station. It's like, hey, here's the assignment. Find a book that you're passionate about and create an act around it. And there's so much research that goes into all of it. And I think that's a bulk of my time, is trying to find that authenticity, that kind of like angle in to what that act on stage is going to be.
Well, in this particular act, involved a lot of research.
A lot. Like a painful amount of research. I think I might mention it in my act. No, I do. I definitely do. It was a lot. I wanted to choose a book that people knew. A story with a moral that could be interpreted a lot of different ways.
And the story that you chose?
I chose Aesop's Fables, The Fox and the Grapes. We know that story. The story's like a page long. I managed to make it. What was the time limit for our performances?
As long as you needed.
Yeah, I did that. For sure. No, I wanted to bring something that people were already familiar with, but try to find a different way into that narrative. And I went down the rabbit hole. I went to the dark web. I discovered people and ideas that I didn't care for. It was hard. This was a really hard assignment.
Now, what about that particular story made you go in this direction? What what inspired you, based on The Fox and the Grapes, to go in the direction that you go for this piece?
So I work with a theater group called 1448 Projects, and one of the things that they really teach you as a writer is like whatever that first idea is, go with it. That's your immediate instinct, is to take this, because if you spend all this time kind of trying to figure out, oh, well, I could do this or I could do that, you waste a lot of that productive time, and I need to spend a lot of that time doing a lot of different things. The new magic set just came out. I think 3 magic sets came out between the time that I was selected to do this show and the performance of the show.
You have a lot of time to make up.
I don't sleep. Help me. So I wanted to find like something that was different in a story that everybody knows. And I think I did. I think I hurt my brain a little bit. I come from a very conservative, but like the bad conservative. Like my mom's side of the family is my Connecticut conservative side of the family. And then I have some relatives who live on like the Kentucky border who are like the other kind of conservative, the conspiracy theorist conservatives, the tin hat.
Right.
You know, like they're gonna take our guns and trans people are the devil wearing human flesh suits and all that stuff. And I'm
Something
like,
about pizza parlors.
oh yeah, all of it. And I wanted to say, like, okay, where does that come from? Because it's all about story, right? This company is all about interpretation of story on stage. These are different ways to see these stories that we haven't seen before. So how do I find a way into this story that interprets the moral in a different way? And I hated it. I hated it. It was hard, and I did not feel good.
What made you choose that particular journey as opposed to another interpretation? What inspired this specific journey?
Oh, Pride Month. Pride Month. Whenever, like, I am a Pride queen. Like, there have been many years where it's just like I would go from booking to booking to booking to booking during Pride. It's a huge time for drag performers to like go and get paid, and it was just act after act, and joyousness, and Cyndi Lauper, and oh, Gaga, this, that. And I think that like performing during the month of Pride, that kind of stuck with me. And once I started going down that rabbit hole, I could not turn away. Like, you want to humanize people. You don't want to go on stage and be a clown. I kind of did it with a clown. But you want to tell a story and like try to make people understand. So I tried to understand. It's not a lot to understand. It's really, really hard.
Did you learn anything new about yourself while making this piece?
Yeah, I did. I did learn a lot about myself. Next question. No, I think it was, you know what it was? It was relearning things that like I work with kids. I'm an educator. I try to like bring whimsy and joy like wherever I go. Like my car's full of puppets at all times. Like just in case.
I mean, whose isn't?
Welcome to this world. So I think that I kind of rediscovered like the things I don't talk about, the arguments I don't get involved in. I don't really get to talk about like really binary subjects of like politics, you know, about like liberals this and conservatives that. I don't engage in that. It's not fun for me. So it was really kind of rediscovering like, hey, how do I feel about something?
So what specifically about the moral of the story do you feel you've amplified in your work?
Reaching.
Yeah.
Reaching. I really grasp on that word. Because like when you think about reaching, that there's tension and there's like stress. You want to get something that is hard to get and far away. And that's work. You know, that's emotional work, it's physical work. And I think that everyone that I know is trying to get the thing, try to get something. And sometimes it's really easy to kind of look at that thing that you're working really hard for and be like, no, fuck that. I'm sorry, no, edit that out. Edit it out, I don't curse. No, it's like, I know a lot of people that they don't do the work. They don't do that reach.
But they want the thing.
They want a thing. You know? And if it's too hard, nope, can't understand it. Nope, that makes sense to me. So it's like, I had my grandfather, he's a really sweet man. He didn't come to my wedding. I didn't notice he wasn't at my wedding. And then he sent me a message saying, oh, I'm so sorry that I didn't come to your wedding, and I'm different now, and I feel different, and I'd really like to get to know you and your husband. And I'm like, we've been divorced for a year and a half. And, like, sometimes it takes a while for people to get there, and I just wish they would just take the night being up until 3 o'clock in the morning on YouTube and, like, figure it out. Like, do the work. Just do the work. If there's something that you don't understand, do the work.
So part of what you're working through in this piece is seeing somebody else's perspective, correct? How did it change your view of the people who you're parodying? Would you call it a parody?
Yeah, I would. Not for me. Not interested.
Yeah.
I think that we can spend a lot of time trying to make it all make sense, and if it's a lot of work, it's not really worth it.
Because it won't make sense.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. How about some fun questions?
Give me a fun question.
Fun questions.
I'm really terrified for this. All right.
If your piece was part of a larger work, say you were going to do a whole show of Aesop's Fables, how would you cast or produce that?
Oh my God. I would definitely try to find people that didn't understand the assignment. That's always my biggest fear coming into a show with so many varied, amazing performers, is that, am I understanding the assignment the right way? I was on the phone with Flossie Jack, one of the producers, just last night, for an hour, saying, am I understanding the assignment? And I think that is kind of the best in to say, hey, interpret this whatever way you want to.
Please don't understand the assignment.
Don't understand
Wrong answers only.
Wrong answers only is a great thing.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, thank you.
We have to wrap it up because you have to do your amazing piece.
Okay, I'm gonna go get ready backstage. I'm gonna take my eyelashes off. Hold on. Okay. Thanks so much.
Thank you to Butch Alice. Woo!
So good to see you. These shoes are brand new. I got them for this show. It's really great. Everyone, it's so nice to see you here. This is a burlesque show, so I'm going to disrobe at this point. The reveal's not great, but it's okay. So, there's a lot of different ways that you can interpret story. Oh, wait. I'm going to do this like... You're welcome. So, there's a lot of different ways that you can interpret story. And the way that you put these pieces together is to have an understanding about how people make sense of the world around them. We're all looking for patterns. We're finding that kind of, are you ready for this? Reveal! It's my favorite mullet. I do have multiple mullets. Yeah, I do. We try to connect the antecedent, that's the moment before, to figure out in our brains how something makes sense through a lot of different interpretations, and depending on who you are, you might be missing the point. This is the story of the fox and the grapes. A fox one day spied a beautiful bunch of ripe grapes hanging above him from the branches of a tree. And those grapes seemed to burst with juice. That fox's mouth watered as he gazed longingly at them. Those grapes were beautiful. Those grapes were everything that he ever wanted, and he knew that they were hiding some kind of sour bitterness inside of them. See, beauty is only skin deep, and we know what's real, and we know what's true. We know the difference between right and wrong. Men, women, black and white. We lie to ourselves every single day, and maybe, just maybe, we'll all get that happy ending that we deserve. So high above us is hanging from that highest branch. And if you work hard, just for a little taste, our little fox jumped for it. That fox worked so hard just to get a sniff of something that was beautiful, tantalizing, lime grapes. The first time he jumped, he missed it. He missed it by a long way. He was in high school, and the grapes thought that they were so much better than him. And he told himself that, in time, it'd be different. And so he took a running leap again. Fell on his face. Again and again. And he tried. But it was all in vain. See that fox, he looked up at those grapes, and he saw them for what they really were. What a damn fool I am. Here I am, wearing myself out for some useless grapes. The moral of this story is to know that no matter how badly you want to taste it, they are never going to belong to you. And you are so much better without them. See, these grapes, this is what everyone talks about. It wants. It works to impress. Society's become a place to worship grapes. And it's fucking wrong. Grapes aren't gods. See, boys and girls, it's the foxes from our story. All those foxes out here. This invisible disability, and it's called lookism. See, lookism gives advantages to attractive people. Genetically more symmetrical people. Handsome men. These grapes are a distraction. Some dream high in the sky. But a savage fox knows that there is something beautiful and succulent. Because as soon as something bitter comes along, those grapes are going to leave us for wolves, or wolverines, sharks, some kind of superior creature. It's a condition called hypergamy, where women are going to trade up for something that's better, for a more attractive man to walk along, all the while leading us foxes along, just out of reach, so that they can feel important and powerful. But they don't have the power, because the moment something better comes along, we're just sucking on some sour grapes. What they don't know is that when you take that black pill, when you finally open your eyes and see what is really going on in the world, that there is an order, and we have fallen so far from God's plan that it's up to us to make it right. We don't need to reach for something to be or to want. You are perfect, just the way that God made you. So we look at these grapes hanging up high above us. And the truth is that what you really need is here. There are people alive fighting against our way of life, living this politically correct lifestyle that are forcing their ideologies on our children, filling their heads, telling them they deserve to be wearing dresses or cutting off their tits. We have the answer. It's not out there. It's in here. They don't want us to fulfill our destiny.
They say that you can have a chosen family. They say that you can have a Friendsgiving. They say that you can have a family that's just you and a cat. Good luck with that. Because in 2026, you know who's going to be lined up? It's not going to be your cat. It's going to be our babies and our babies' babies. This story has a very clear parable to know what is meant for you. It's like, you know how it sounds, right? It's, a couple years back, my aunt had this like tirade, like she was going off about how trans people were trying to get us to like them. And I'm like 50% sure that I'm a part of the trans community. I'm like a Care Bear cousin to the trans community. And I have so many friends who are non-binary, who are trans, who are gender non-conforming, and I think the last thing on any of our minds is to get people to like us. I don't give a... I don't. I had to do so much research into this stupid act, into this stupid community, to try to understand, to try to make it make sense. And this is among the celebration. This is Pride Month when we're filming this. This is Pride Month. And I was like deep into the bad parts of the internet. I was like trying to figure out how to humanize it. I was in places in Reddit that I never should have been. I watched documentaries, I watched YouTube videos, and all of these arguments that these people make, it's all out of fear. Like all of it. Fear leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. There's this culture of meanness that I'm just not living for right now. I don't know whether or not I believe in God. I know that I don't believe in like whatever God they're talking about, whose aim is to like, I don't know, torture people for eternity, for like literally eternity. Just for being free, to be them, to be me. I watch video after video of like Westboro Baptist Church picketing children's funerals. I watch white supremacists trying to justify why hiring a white applicant for a job or giving a home loan to a white person was some kind of way to combat racism against white people. And I was down this rabbit hole and just journeying further and further during Pride Month for an Aesop's Fables themed performance at a burlesque show in Ballard. I got so mad, like trying to make it make sense. Trying to humanize these people. And these are people who I wanted so badly to understand my community that it seemed only fair for me to attempt to understand them. And I just had this moment of realization. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing on this dark web page of Reddit at 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to understand any of all of this? And I really reached, right? I reached. I tried. I tried over and over again to really grasp whatever it was that these people were holding on to so tightly. And I realized that the moral of the story is that the grapes were sour, and it's that if a person has to work so hard to make it make sense against everything that they know and feel, they're going to label it as some sour-ass grapes. So, this Pride season, segue, I'm offering up grapes to everyone. I want you to taste it. I want you to feel it. I want you to fucking choke on it. Thank you and good night.
Thanks for watching Ekphrasis, a production of Novelties Theatre. If you enjoyed this episode, we invite you to make a tax-deductible donation through the link in the video description. And don't forget to like and subscribe below so you don't miss our next episode featuring Dulce du Jour and The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux.